You are locked into the Red and Blue Rivalry podcast, the podcast where we talk all things San Francisco 49ers and Dallas Cowboys.
My name is Eric Hernandez, and I'm calling the faithful.
And I am Philip Enriquez, repping for America's team.
And speaking of America's team, while they did enjoy a bye, that doesn't mean they weren't in the headlines. So as the trade deadline passed, the rumors about Jamal Adams to the Cowboys was something big. However, they did make a trade. It was Michael Bennett, who's going to help your defensive line. So I want to get your thoughts on Michael Bennett joining the Cowboys and how you think that's going to work out.
Listen, I just maybe 1 or 2 days before was having a conversation with a friend of mine and was talking about how Martellus and Michael Bennett are the two biggest boneheads in the NFL. And then to find out that my Cowboys traded for them for one of them two days later was something. But look, I'll say this. Let's keep it on the field right now. Mm-hmm. My opinion, my personal opinions aside, I think it's a good move on the field because he is the replacement for Tyrone Crawford, who was placed on IR earlier in the week with the hip injury. He had hip surgery. Crawford isn't a great talent by any stretch of the imagination, but he's one of those B players.
Yeah.
Where he's above average. He makes his plays. He's just not a superstar. He's far from it. And I think Michael Bennett is a bit of an upgrade over a Tyrone Crawford. And like Crawford, Bennett has the versatility to play inside and out. And looking at this Cowboys line, you look at Robert Quinn and the tear that he's on, and it looks like maybe DeMarcus Lawrence is starting to come back from that shoulder surgery and actually be the war daddy Jerry Jones paid him to be. You don't want him playing at end. So I think you're going to expect to see a lot of Michael Bennett playing inside for the Dallas Cowboys.
I think when I look at that trade, I think that was a smart trade. I think that kind of ultimately helps along their defensive line because you've had so many guys like Tyrone Crawford who's hurt, guys who've kind of busted, Taco Charlton. You have, what was the guy who was drafted, I think in the second round out of Nebraska?
Randy Gregory.
They
got high.
Yes, and just never stopped getting high.
Right.
So, they've taken swings at this position. It kind of reminds me of the Niners and the wide receivers. The Niners have drafted wide receiver after wide receiver and just kind of really haven't hit. So they went on and traded for one they feel is dependable. And I kind of look at that the same way with, adding Michael Bennett, as somebody who can come in. Now, when you see him, how do you envision him working in this offense? On run downs, pass downs? Is he purely just, on pass downs he comes in and you kick either DeMarcus Lawrence inside or he kicks inside? How do you think they want to use him moving forward?
I think you're definitely going to see him on passing downs for sure. And you know what? The Cowboys are probably one of the more heavily rotated defensive lines in the league.
Yeah.
That's just the way Marinelli plays the game. So he's going to be just another piece. To be honest, he's going to be another spoke on this wheel. But I think he's probably third fiddle behind the ends that we have. Because right now, like I said, we're hurting for inside pressure.
Yeah.
There's almost no inside pressure, even though we do have a pretty consistent outside pressure. So, like I said, I think we're going to see him inside on third downs, and who knows, maybe even first and second downs. We'll see how that goes. We'll see, I don't know how he's practicing. He practiced today for the first time. He's wearing number 79. That's probably all the news I got for you as far as him being in Dallas. But I think it's a great move. I think, especially on the field, I just hope he can keep his head on straight. Like I mentioned, he's had a penchant for being a knucklehead. We had his brother Martellus on the squad. We drafted Martellus in the second round as a tight end. And, he's he's one of these players who protested the national anthem. And Jerry's stance on that.
Oh, yeah,
that ain't going to fly. So I'm sure those conversations took place with Jerry that he's not going to do that. Not that I'm even totally against it or anything, but just I don't want to see any
distractions,
any distractions on this team. But look, you only gave up a 7th round pick with the potential for it to be a 6th round draft pick. And this is a dude that had 9 sacks last year for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I don't think he left New England because he was not a great player. I think he left New England because New England decided to kind of have a paradigm shift in their defense, and he just didn't fit in that defensive scheme. So, he's kind of...
he's a 4-3 guy, and he's playing in often. They're playing out of 3-4 now.
Yeah, so I can understand why he just felt like he needed to be out of there. And I don't think there was any bad, but you didn't hear anything coming out of New England, anything bad.
I just heard that there was an argument with him and the defensive line coach.
Yeah, and I think that has to do with the shift. Now, let's talk about the trade that didn't happen. Towards the end of the trade deadline, there were rumors that the Cowboys were interested in Jamal Adams, safety from the New York Jets. And, I mean, we're talking about this was going on the last hour. So I wanted your thoughts about the potential trade, maybe how you would have liked to have him and what you felt would have been, okay to give as far as compensation.
Well, let me tell you that I was refreshing Twitter about every 5 seconds just to make sure I didn't miss that news on my lunch break today. And the way I feel is like, look, the deal obviously didn't get done at the end of the day. And you were the one telling me that the Jets wanted something like a first-round pick. And yeah. I remember I was looking on Twitter, and I think Jane Slater reported that the Cowboys' final offer was a first-round pick and a day 3 pick. So 4th, 5th round. And that just wasn't enough for the Jets to pry away one of the best safeties in the league. Yeah, and you know what? I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with walking away from that deal. Look, safeties, to me, I don't know. I don't place a premium on safety play. Unless you're Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, or a healthy Bob Sanders, I'm not giving away more than a first-round pick for any safety in this league. That's just me. You can take it or leave it with the first-round pick. So I'm good with that. I just hope a player like, say, a Jeff Heath or an Xavier Woods doesn't cost us a ticket to the playoffs, or if we make it to the playoffs, a ticket out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's when it's going to look bad. But right now, I just don't see giving up that kind of capital for a player like Jamal Adams right now. I don't see him as a difference maker that's going to win you 1 or 2 games a year. I don't see it.
I look at Jamal Adams, and I think he's great. Like, if you would have told me, okay, I think I would have given up what I think Dallas was around there. If you had told me, okay, you could have had him at the beginning of the season for a 1st and a 4th, I go, okay, that makes sense, because we had talked about it, and if he's not the best safety player right now, he's at least in the top 3. And what you're getting is a top safety that's under cost control for at least 2 more years, who wanted to play for you guys. I mean, that was the rumor coming out.
He's from Dallas.
Yeah, he wanted to be a Cowboy.
Area.
So who knows? Maybe this drama continues in the offseason. We never know. But at the end of the day, it didn't happen. And the way my view is, if it did happen, that would help the Cowboys. At the end of the day, I don't think it hurts the Cowboys.
Right. I'm with you on that. And you know what? I'd rather have the long-term dividends that first-round pick is going to give us. And remember, we didn't have a first-round pick last year because we traded for Amari Cooper, which was well worth it. But I'm not too excited about missing out on 2 drafts in the first round.
Yeah. So as we move forward here, Dallas enjoyed their bye, but now they look forward to an old division rival, and that is the New York Giants on Monday night. So I kind of pulled up some things. This is the 115th meeting between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys lead this series 67 wins, 47 losses. 67 wins, 46 losses, and 2 draws. The largest victory came in 1966, where the Dallas Cowboys smashed the Giants 52-7, and are currently on a 5-game winning streak against the New York Giants.
Dak Prescott owns the NFC East. Look at the records. He does not lose to the NFC East. Look at us this year. We've had some pretty bad games outside of the NFC East. And yeah, the NFC East isn't looking like the powerhouse that it has been over the years, but I'll take it. Any year, I'll
take
division. Yeah. You want to give me division wins? I'll take it every year.
You think the Patriots care that the Jets exactly. and the Jets and the
Dolphins? They built a 20-year dynasty based on their division being crap.
Yes.
So I'll take it. Look, the New York Giants and the Daniel Jones things, that came and went. Yeah. They're coming off 4 straight losses now.
Yeah.
So
that was good for like a minute.
It was good for a minute.
They beat Tampa, and then things came back to reality.
Exactly. Then things quickly come back to reality. Vegas has the Cowboys on the road as 7.5 to 8-point underdogs. So that means, again, that's giving the Giants 3 games for being at home. 3 points for being at home. Yeah. So they figure they're double-digit favorites in this game. I know the Cowboys had a really shit game against the Jets, and I have no excuse. If you want to rip me for the Jets game, if you want to talk shit to me as a Cowboys fan for that Jets game, they deserve it. Have at it. There's nothing I'm going to say. There's no excuse for losing that game to that team.
Yeah.
We lost a shootout to the Green Bay Packers, but you've seen the kind of throws that Aaron Rodgers can make just this week.
Yeah.
So, look.
He's Aaron Rodgers.
He's Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying I would like to have won that game.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say that the season's over because we lost that game.
No.
And then we lost to the New Orleans Saints, which I regard still, sorry to say, I know you're a 49er fan, but I still rank them ahead of the Niners. I would say I would have the Niners second in the NFC right now.
Yeah.
Just based on the way they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I'm not going to cry over those two losses, but that New York Jets game is bad. I don't think the Cowboys are going to let that happen again. And if they do, then we don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Then we don't deserve to be mentioned amongst the Saints and the Packers and the Niners. We don't. So this is a game the Cowboys must win. There's no reason to lose this game. The New York Giants, they're a turnover machine on offense.
Oh, Daniel Jones doesn't throw picks, but he fumbles like crazy.
He fumbles left and right. And, so there's no excuse to really lose this game. There's not. I mean, I'm sorry. I'd love to give you some great analytical answer, but there's no excuse for the Cowboys to lose this game against the New York Giants. The New York Giants had a players-only meeting. I mean, what's that going to do?
Yeah.
That just tells you
the
that
players
the
in that meeting aren't that good.
Fire.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, to me, like I said, the Giants are 2-6. The Cowboys are at 4-3, and hell yeah, I think they should be better than 4-3. I think they should be coming into this game at least with the record of 5-2.
Yeah, that Jets one is
at the very least, but probably, even being honest, probably 6-1.
Yeah.
If you would have told me before.
Yeah.
But regardless, like I told you in the beginning, I'm staying consistent with my position here. I really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
What our record is in the regular season. We've seen 13-3 plenty of times, even with the quarterback like Dak Prescott and under a coach like Jason Garrett. I need to see postseason success. I understand that we need to play the games that are in front of us. But again, just get in. Give me a ticket to the dance. That's all I want. And the New York Giants are just another team that we're ready to punch that ticket, get another W, get one step closer to the playoffs. That's how I do it, man. That's what it is. It's about the Cowboys. We've been there. We've done that. Let's get into the playoffs. Let's kick the crap out of a shitty team like the Giants on Monday Night Football. Witten, say hello to your buddies, Booger McFarland and all those dudes. Blah, 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 blah. Get a touchdown pass. Let's get the win in New York, and let's move on to the next game and get there into the playoffs. Maybe face off against your Niners, man.
That'd be great.